Hey, it's John McCabe. Welcome to the show. Hey guys, and welcome to the John A. McCabe Show, where it's all about accelerating your authority in your business or field of expertise. And we do that by helping entrepreneurs, business owners, authors, experts, speakers get seen, get heard, get noticed on any device, anywhere, anytime, in as little as 15 hours, also known as the Authority Acceleration Blueprint. Now, today is Real Estate Investing Monday, and unfortunately my guest was unable to make it for today's show, which means today I have a great lesson lined up for you. Today is a workshop show where I'm going to help you craft some copy for attracting motivated homeowners so that you can get them to move to take action. Now, that action is to get them either to give you a call on the phone, send you an email, or have them visit your website. But it's all about moving those motivated homeowners to take some kind of action with you. Now, it doesn't really matter what exit strategy that you're focusing on when it comes to real estate investing. The bottom line is really the same. It doesn't matter if you want to do your first deal in the next, or your next deal in the next 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days. It all starts with having leads or opportunities that you can follow up and analyze and make offers on. Now, if you're wanting to increase the number of leads and opportunities, then there's three things that you need to have. Now, the first thing is you need to have a marketing strategy. Who are you going to target? What areas of the city are you going to focus on? And how are you going to target these areas? Are you going to use online, offline, a combination of the two? And the second thing is, what kind of system are you going to use to market? Do you have a way to screen some of the leads? Are you driving them to a website, to a specific phone number, to an email? What action do you want that lead to take, and how is it going to be handled? Now, the third thing you need is you need to know what you're going to say in your marketing material on your websites, letters, ads, etc. Now, this is going to get the attention of your ideal target market and make them want to take action. Now, today we're going to focus on the third piece, what you're going to say, and I'm actually going to walk you through some examples of creating marketing materials today during the show that's going to help you attract more leads and opportunities. So on today's show, we're really going to get into creating some copy that you can actually use from the show in your marketing materials based on who your ideal target market is going to be, what their pains, fears, frustrations, or ambitions are, and how your solution can help them. So be sure to stick around. When I come back, we're going to dig into creating some content for your real estate investing business. So just hold on. I'm just going to do a quick transition, and I'll be right back. All right, so thanks for joining me on today's show. And if you're a full-time or part-time real estate investor, brand new, or maybe you're a veteran, then today's show is specifically for you. As a real estate investor myself, and someone who built their business based on the power of marketing, I know what it takes to generate leads and opportunities, and to be able to convert those leads and opportunities into deals. Now, in real estate investing, just as any business, how effective your marketing is will really determine how busy you are. So doing your first deal or your next deal in the next 30 days is easily attainable if you have enough leads or opportunities coming in the door. But it really boils down to what you're doing to fill the lead funnel. Now, today we're going to discuss and work through some marketing that will get you crystal clear on who your ideal target market is for the different strategies, and create some ads and marketing material that you can use to help generate those leads. Now, during today's show, we're going to accomplish a few different things. First, I'm going to help you get crystal clear on who your ideal target market is that you want to attract. The second thing is I'm going to help you figure out what their desired outcome is for each ideal target market, and what the benefits they're going to receive when they work with you. Now, the third thing is going to help you create some headlines to grab their attention. And the fourth thing is going to help you structure some of the body of the ads, or talk a little bit about how to structure some of the body of the ads, the marketing materials, etc. So today we're talking about, today's really a workshop show, so please leave some comments, some questions. It's designed specifically to help real estate investors attract more motivated homeowners more leads and opportunities, and we do that through marketing. So what I'm actually going to walk you through is creating some very specific marketing and get you to understand when you're actually creating your marketing material, how to go about creating a very effective copywriting. Now, this is designed specifically for real estate investors who are doing residential real estate investing. But if you actually think about the not so much the specific target ideal person that we're trying to connect with, but just sort of think of the framework or the structure of what we're going to talk about today, it can actually implement it, and this is actually how you implement it in any business, regardless of what type of business. I just happen to be focusing on real estate investing today, as Mondays are usually real estate investing Mondays. So definitely, if you have any questions or comments, or if you want to discuss, if you want me to actually work through an ad for you, then definitely let me know. So what I'm going to do is get right into it. The first thing that we need to understand is we need to get crystal clear on who your ideal target market is and who you want to attract. So in order to do that, you need to understand who they are, what their pains, fears, frustrations, or ambitions that they're faced with right now. Now, typically in residential real estate investing, there's 4 main exit strategies. Those being wholesale, fix and something, so that's fix and flip, fix and lease option, or fix and hold. So it's fix and something is typically a strategy. The third one is lease option, more commonly known as rent to own. And the fourth one is a buy and hold. So those are the 4 main exit strategies that you have in your residential real estate investing. So when it comes to identifying who your ideal target market is and what their pains, fears, frustrations, or ambitions are, you really need to get in the mindset of the individual themselves, the homeowner themselves, and what are some of the challenges that these people are faced with right now. So I do have some information here that I sort of put together a little bit. So just let me bring that up. Okay. So some of the challenges, I was working through this. Just let me grab my keyboard as well. Just move my mic a little bit, and just so I can type, because this, as I mentioned, this is meant to be a workshop. So I'm going to be working through some of these things. And if you have any questions or comments, just leave them for me. And if you want me to work on a very specific piece of marketing, maybe if you're a real estate investor and you want to learn how to attract a very specific target market that I don't mention here, then let me know and we'll actually work through the copy. So when it comes to pains, fears, frustrations, or ambitions, what you're really trying to do is get into the mindset of your ideal target market. In our case, they're homeowners. So what are the challenges that our homeowners are faced with right now? So I put down a few. If you see something that's not on the list, just type it in the chat and then I'll add it to the list, because we're going to be creating some copy for these particular individuals. So just get my mouse on the right screen. So the first one I have is a homeowner who has a home that's not selling. So this is an individual who maybe has a home on the market. It's been on the market for 90, 120 days. In my city right now, we're seeing that. The average time on market for houses that are selling today are close to 60 days. So there's a lot of homes that are on the market for 120 or more days. They just aren't selling at all. We have a large number of inventory on the market, and it's definitely more of a buyer's market right now. So homes just aren't selling. So we have a lot of people with the challenges that their home is not selling today. Excuse me. Now, another challenge people may have is they either want to sell their home or they have their home on the market right now. And one of the reasons it's not selling is it needs to be fixed up, or if they don't have it for sale, it's because they want to sell it, but they can't afford to fix it up before they put it up for listing. So there's a lot of homeowners out there who have lived in a home, and now maybe they've lived in it for 8, 10, 15 years, and they haven't really done any upgrades to it. So maybe it's outdated. Maybe it needs some new paint, new flooring, things like that. And the homeowner just can't afford to spend the money to get it what we call show ready, meaning they can't afford to get it in a situation or get it into a state where when somebody walks through the door, it's like the wow factor, right? Because if you have a home that's sort of been lived in and it does not show very well and it needs to be updated, the carpets are well worn or stained, there's a lot of nicks or the walls are discolored from their original color, the cupboards are 8 to 10 years old, 15 years old, and they really haven't been upkept. You have an old low end countertop, the sink in the washroom is sort of out of date. Things like that can really detract from somebody actually wanting to buy that home, the end user wanting to buy that home. And normally in those situations, for a homeowner to get good top dollar, they actually need to invest the money to actually fix it up. So there's a lot of situations where homeowners just can't afford to fix it up. Now, another classification or another challenge that people have is they can't afford to sell their home today. And I see a lot of that lately with homeowners who bought their home closer to the peak of the market. They bought with 5% down, and typically when you buy with 5% down, you have to put mortgage insurance on it, and the mortgage insurance is anywhere from 3 to 4% of the overall purchase price. So in actuality, you're almost 100% financed. And if you own a home less than 10 years at 100% financing, everyone knows that at the very beginning you're paying the majority of your payment goes towards interest and a smaller amount goes towards principal. So if you hold the home, between any less than 7 to 11 years, then you've just paid down a lot of the principal, and because you bought it closer to the peak of the market, there may not have been the appreciation of the price of the home, and nor has the mortgage paid down enough to build that big enough gap. So basically you're looking for the appreciation value to go up. You're looking for the payments to decrease the mortgage value that's owing, and you're looking for that wider gap. So what's been happening is in a lot of areas is the price has not been going up nearly as far. And when you're starting at almost 100% mortgage finance, the amount that the mortgage gets paid down is very little over the first, say, 10 years. So there's not a whole lot of gap of equity in there. And when it comes to a selling situation, typically that most people, when you go to buy a property, you're not paying full market value. You're going to negotiate on the price. So even though you might start like this, if this is your listing price and this is what's owed, after some negotiation, you bring the price down to about here. And then you have the real estate fees that the owner is going to pay the realtor, so that digs down even further. So there's very little money left over, after the negotiation, after the carrying costs. It sits on the market for 3, 6, 9 months. During that time frame, that's all sort of lost money to you. Paying the realtor, and in a lot of cases, people aren't even able to get out what they initially put down for a down payment. So a lot of people, they need to sell, but they can't afford to sell. So that's a challenge that they're faced with. Another one is that they just don't want to pay the realtors. They're not a big believer in paying the realtors, 7 and 3%, 7% on the first 100,000, 3% on the rest. So, in a lot of cases that can add up very considerably, anywhere from 10 to 20,000 on your average single family home. So a lot of times people don't want to spend that money on a realtor. Nowadays, we're seeing a lot of huge payout penalties. So people are getting dinged by the bank immensely with breaking their mortgages. So it's very important when you renew your mortgage or you get a mortgage, you understand the fine print and you understand what the payout penalties are going to be when you if you break that mortgage. So a lot of the lenders that are sort of advertising the lowest interest rates have the largest payout penalties within the mortgage documents themselves. So be very crystal clear as a homeowner what you're getting into. But that's a challenge that a lot of homeowners have is, if they're in a 5-year term and there's 3 years left, they're only 2 years in, 3 years left, they could be faced with $20,000, $30,000 worth of payout penalties, and it can be very substantial. So, if you're starting like this as far as the equity, and then you negotiate the price, and then you pay the realtor, and then you pay your bank fees, all of a sudden it costs you more to actually get out of the house than you have. So you actually have to pay money to get out of that mortgage. So as a homeowner, it's not very attractive. So, that's a challenge that a lot of homeowners have in today's environment. Some other challenges are maybe the people lost their job. Actually, I'm going to write that down as another one, but people may have missed payments. So, for whatever reason, they haven't been keeping up with their mortgage payments. And there's a lot of people really don't understand how the banking system works. So if you miss your mortgage payment, they think that, I'm just going to pay, I'll get caught up, but I missed one, but I made the next one, I made the next one, I made the next one. So in their mind, they actually think they only missed one payment, but in reality, they've missed 3 payments, because once you miss that first one, if you don't pay that first one before the next one is due, then when you go pay the mortgage payment for the next mortgage, you actually aren't paying the current mortgage payment, you're paying the back mortgage payments, which means that you've missed a second payment, and then it happens again for the third payment. So people can, once they start missing payments, they can get into a foreclosure situation fairly easy. So these are challenges that homeowners have. So remember, we're thinking about the challenges, the pains, fears, frustrations that homeowners have before we get into actually writing any copy or writing any ads, because we need to understand, get into the mind of these homeowners. And another reason is maybe they received a statement of claim, they're in a foreclosure. Like I said, they're going through that foreclosure process. I put here that they lost a job, and just checking to see if anyone else has any challenges that they can think of right off the top of your head. If you think of some homeowner challenges that they may be faced with right now, because we're talking about marketing, creating some ads to attract these motivated homeowners. To understand why they're motivated, we need to get into their mindset. So basically, I've come up with a few different scenarios as to why they may feel some pain or frustration, So because this is important when we're crafting our message. All right, so I don't see anything right now, so I'm just go back to the copywriting. So the second thing is we need to determine the desired outcomes. So we need to determine what the desired outcome is of the ideal target market, and what some of the benefits they would receive from using your service or contacting you directly. So first, let's take a look at the people's challenges, and then their pains, fears, frustrations, ambitions, and have them move forward and discuss some of the desired outcomes. From there, we're going to need to determine how your solution will benefit them. So that may be best based on whatever exit strategy you're actually going to use. Chris Miller asks, how are you finding these motivated sellers, John? So Chris, what I'm doing is, so you're either doing online or offline marketing. And when it comes to your marketing, you need to have effective copy, which is I'm going through right now. So from the effective copy, you can create ads, you can create marketing materials, you can create letters, flyers, use this copy on your websites, and then you either need to go directly to where the homeowner is. So meaning that you need to do a flyer campaign or letter campaign, or you need to market on online somehow, either through paid advertising or free classified sites like Kijiji, and it's using this copy that's going to attract the motivated homeowners to get them to take action. So hopefully that helped you out a little bit. But what we're talking about right now is creating that ads that you can use in all those different mediums to attract the motivated homeowner. So we have their pain, fears, frustration, and ambition. Now we have to determine what is the ideal outcome or the desired outcome for the homeowner. So the challenge we have is the home is not selling. That's one of the challenges. So the desired outcome is to sell the home quickly. Because if you think about it, their home is not selling. It's been sitting on the market for quite some time. And the desired outcome, or what the homeowner is thinking is, I just need to sell my home and I need to sell it quickly. So they're thinking that is their desired outcome. That is what they want. Sell their home quickly. Now, you can dig a little bit deeper. Their home isn't selling. Well, some people have the ability to carry that home. They have the financial ability to carry that home. So selling it quickly may not be an issue. So you may have to dig a little bit deeper other than just the home is not selling. But if they're in a distressed situation, meaning they've lost their job or they just can't afford it anymore, or they have some other bills that have causing them, to be house poor, and they just want to downsize, or whatever the situation, they really can't afford it, then they need to sell it quickly. But the desired outcome of a home is not selling is basically selling the home. So the homeowner wants to sell the home. The quickness is going to really depend upon their financial ability to carry the property for any length of time. Now we're going to move to the next one. The challenge was it needs to be fixed up and they can't afford to do so before selling. So the desired outcome is either sell the house in its current state without spending any money to fix it up. So basically selling it as is really their desired outcome, or for them to have the money to fix it up and then turn around and sell it. So what's more likely is the first one, where they sell the house in its current as-is condition. So where they don't actually have to spend the money to fix it up. The next challenge is they can't afford to sell their home. Remember, the price didn't go up enough, or the mortgage payment didn't go down fast enough, so that when they're listing it on today's value price, when there's some negotiation, then you pay realtor fees, then they're not even walking away with their down payment. So really, in most owners' minds, they can't really afford to sell it because they're not going to walk away with the cash that they put in just for the down payment. So there's not enough equity, there's payout penalties, or maybe the realtor fees, all that stuff comes into play. So what is the desired outcome of these people? So their desired outcome is to sell the home and walk away with the money that they've invested in it, or walk away with at least their down payment, or sell the home without paying realtor fees or payout penalties. So again, the desired outcome is they want to sell the home and they want to make some money, but they have these other challenges where either the market hasn't gone up enough. So for people that can't afford to sell their home today, that's the challenge that they have because of the financial, the money situation. They're either going to lose money, or they're not going to make as much money as they need to make to move on. So some of the desired outcome is being able to sell the home and recover their initial down payment. That is one of the desired outcomes. Or having enough money to move on to the next phase of their life is a desired outcome. Selling their home and moving on to the next phase of their life. So those are things that are actually desired outcomes for these people that actually have those challenges. Now the next one is they don't want to pay realtor fees. So their desired outcome is to sell without paying a realtor, or sell without paying commissions, because it's really about paying the commissions. So their desired outcome is they want to actually sell the home without paying a realtor. So their challenge is they don't want to pay a realtor, or they can't afford to pay a realtor. So their desired outcome is being able to sell the home without the use of the realtor. Okay. So the next one is they have huge payout penalties. So the desired outcome. So these individuals know that because they're going to break the term of their mortgage, that they're going to be forced with huge payout penalties. So what I've found is very effective is, and these are for people that actually have to leave their home. They can't afford their home, or they're relocating. There's some reason why they just can't stay in their home for the duration of the term. And what I found that's very effective is they rent their home for remaining term, then sell. So here they're going to avoid paying those payout penalties of the mortgage, because they're going to rent their home and then to somebody who's going to buy it. So typically the way I like to structure it is they rent their home for the remaining term, then sell. So the way that I usually approach that is, so their desired outcome is, but a lot of times they don't want to be the landlord. So that's one of the that's another challenge that's sort of embedded in there. So what I like to do is, I market to their desired outcome, and that is somebody who's going to rent their home and then buy it at the end of the term and be responsible for all the repairs and maintenance up to a certain amount of money, look after the management, that sort of thing. So basically eliminating a lot of the fears that they have about being a landlord into this as well. So the challenge is they have huge payout penalties. Desired outcome is to have somebody in the home until their mortgage comes due, and then have them buy the home. So that is their desired outcome. Or have somebody, a desired outcome is somebody to buy the home and pay the mortgage payout, or to take over the mortgage, to assume the mortgage, to pay them an amount of money up front, assume the mortgage, and then they're not faced with those payout penalties. Mortgage assumption is getting much more complicated and much harder than it used to be. Banks still want people to qualify for mortgage assumptions, still have put cash down. So if you're a homeowner and you're trying to find somebody to assume your mortgage, pay you cash to assume your mortgage, then the bank is going to want more cash for that mortgage assumption from the buyer. So the mortgage assumption may not be the best route to as the desired outcome. But the desired outcome is basically the person needs to get out of the home, and they want to do so without losing a large chunk of money. So the next one is the challenge that the homeowner has, they miss payments. So the desired outcome for them is they actually want to get caught up on their payments and stop the foreclosure. Basically, they want to stop the foreclosure process. So those people are typically looking for, a lot of times they're looking for money or to refinance their home. So their desired outcome is to find somebody to refinance their home so they can have the money to pay out the first lender and their missed payments. That is their initial desired outcome. The majority of the homeowners that I've met with, I've been doing this since 2009, met with that are going into foreclosure, probably 95% of them are trying to stay in their home. So their desired outcome is that they want to stop the foreclosure process. They want money to pay out the arrears, or so for their missed payments, they're trying to prevent that foreclosure from happening. So they're either looking for money to pay out the arrears, so refinance on their home, or they're looking for a solution as to stop the actual foreclosure process, which is what we're going to talk about in the next one, where they talk about receiving, they've received a statement of claim. So receive a statement of claim, which typically means that the foreclosure action is actually started. So they're looking for a way to stop the foreclosure, or they're looking for a refinancing solution for people going into foreclosure. Those are typically what their desired outcome is they want to stop the foreclosure and remain in their home, or they want to stop the foreclosure and have someone buy the home right away, that will prevent the foreclosure and give them cash to move on. So their desired outcome is stopping the foreclosure or coming up with money to pay out the arrears and the first lender, or to sell the home today. So they may have a couple of different desired outcomes, and you can play around with creating marketing material that addresses the different desired outcomes. So it addresses the people who want to stay in their home or looking for money for refinancing. So maybe you're a private lender, and what you're looking to do is to have people going into foreclosure contact you. Maybe you're a higher risk lender and you're willing to lend them money based on the equity of their home to pay out the arrears and to catch up their current position. And in doing so, a lot of times, that's how a lot of the private lenders end up taking over people's homes, because they sort of just prey on their situation. There's equity there. They know that they can take over their home. So my rule of thumb is, if the person can't afford to pay the first bank, what makes me think that they're going to pay the second bank if I was the second bank? So, but it's a way that a lot of people end up taking over homes with equity in it. So desired outcome for people that have received statement of claim or they're in the foreclosure process, desired outcome is to come up with cash now so they can pay out the arrears and stay in the home. Desired outcome is stopping the foreclosure, or basically selling the home fast, paying out the first, and walking away with some money. So there's a couple different desired outcomes, and you can create different ads based on the different desired outcomes. So, and a lot of times it will actually be the desired outcome will have something to do with the exit strategy, or the benefits that you're going to offer them will have something to do with the exit strategy. So if we take a look at, we go back to the 4 exit strategies. Remember, there's wholesale, there's fix and something, there's lease option, which is rent to own, or there's a buy and hold, or the exit strategies. So if we're talking about the benefits that these people could receive, so we'll start down the list again. So the benefits of the home is not selling. So the desired outcome is to sell the house quickly. So the benefits that the person could receive when you offer to buy their house quickly. So some benefits are, you're closing in X number of days. So they know that the sale of the house is going to be done in a certain amount of time, close in 7 days or 14 days or 28 days, whatever that number is. So a benefit is that they're moving on. They receive the cash from the sale of the home in X number of days, whatever X is that you decide to market towards. So that's a benefit they would receive to sell their house quickly if they were to work with you. Another benefit could be that you offer all cash purchase and non-conditional. So typically that's a very seasoned investor who has the ability to, before they write the offer, to actually do an inspection on the home, either themselves or with their inspector. But prior to them actually writing the offer, they've done a complete inspection, so they know exactly what they're getting into. So they could say that their offer is unconditional, meaning there's no condition of financing and there's no conditioning of inspection, because they do their inspection prior to actually submitting their offer. Now, I'm just going to quickly move on. I'm just checking the time. I know that I've still got a lot of stuff to cover. So the next one needs to be fixed up and they can't afford to do so before selling. So desired outcome is they sell it as is without having to come up with the money to fix it up. So a benefit to that is that if they sell it as is, a benefit is that they don't have to invest any money or time into getting the property show ready. So that's a benefit to them. A benefit to them is that they can, the sale of the home can be completed much quicker, even without being fixed up. So again, time and money are always a benefit to homeowners that have a desired outcome of selling their home or selling it as is or whatever. So time and money always play a part in the benefits for the homeowner for the desired outcome. So can't afford to sell, there's not enough equity, payout penalties, can't afford the realtor fees. So a benefit, if they were to actually lease their home for 2 to 3 years and then sell it, is you can actually use a lot of the benefits that are actually listed there. Is if you rent your house to us for 2 to 3 years and then sell it, you're not faced with payout penalties. There's no realtor fees involved. You don't have to, there's no management because we look after the management of the property. There's no vacancy because we're renting it for the entire duration of the term. So that the homeowner will receive a lot of these different benefits if you go through the route of, if their desired outcome is they want to sell but they just can't afford to, and you're positioning it as, well, we will rent your home for 2 to 3 years and then buy it, making you more money. Again, it's time and money. So, the desired outcome is they want to sell it, but they want to make money. So you can talk to them about that they can sell it and they will make more money putting their home in your program. And here's the benefits of your program is they don't pay realtor fees. There's no payout penalties. You're going to buy the home at today's fair market value. You're going to rent it at today's fair market rent. So there's a lot, and there's no management. You look after all the repairs and maintenance. So there's a lot of benefits to them when it comes to putting their home into your program. Because remember, it's you need to understand what their challenge is, what their desired outcome is, and you need to frame your solution around the benefits. You need to frame their challenge around the benefits that they're going to receive if they put their home in your solution. So they don't want to pay realtor fees. That's their challenge. The desired outcome is they want to make more money on the sale of their home. And so you address that by saying some of the benefits to your program is, you're buying the home without realtor commissions, no commissions involved, it's private sale. So things like that will get their attention because their biggest challenge is they don't want to pay realtors. So if they don't want to pay realtors, their desired outcome is they still want to sell their home, just not pay realtors. Either they don't want to pay the fees because they can't afford to, or they just don't want to. They want to make more money on the sale of their home. So the benefits to working with you are that you buy the home direct. There's no realtors involved. They don't have to pay realtor commissions. Things like that are benefits to working with you. So huge payout penalties. As we mentioned before, if they were to put their home in your program, maybe you're going to rent it for 2 to 3 years and then buy it. So they're not, because you're renting it for the duration of the term, then when the purchase goes through, there's actually no payout penalties involved. So they're going to save tens of thousands of dollars by putting their home in this program, which equates to money in their pocket. So they're going to make more money on the sale of their home. They're going to save on those payout penalties. Depending upon the solution, there may not be any realtor fees involved. Basically, you can show them how they can make it. They're going to make an extra $60,000 on the sale of their home over what they would make if they just sold it today, things like that. So they're going to make more money working with you is one of the biggest benefits to the homeowner. Now the next one, missed payments, foreclosure. Again, basically the benefit to working with you is you're able to stop the foreclosure. You're able to catch up the mortgage, pay out the arrears. You know, those are benefits that they're going to receive by contacting you if you are to help, if you're going to help them. So, you know, you stop the foreclosure, your arrears get paid out, you know, your mortgage gets caught up to date. You're going to get, you know, you're automatically approved for new financing based on the equity of your home. Things like that are benefits to them by working with you. Okay, so so that's a little bit about you know, talking about the desired outcome and the benefits. And the next thing you're going to need to do, now that you know who they are, their pains, fears, frustrations, ambitions, you understand their desired outcome, and you understand you know, what benefits your solution can offer them. So you talk to them about the benefits that they're going to receive by contacting you or by working with you. Now the next thing you need to do is create so sorry for looking over here, but I'm just changing the screen, is you need to create some headlines. So the easiest way is to use some proven headlines, some proven formulas, and sort of just fill in the blanks. So what I have are some examples of some formulas that I've picked up over time. So, you know, so many people make the mistake of you know, not using proven formulas. It's all right if you're an experienced copywriter, but if you're not an experienced copywriter, the best thing to do is start with proven formulas and just sort of fill in the blanks. It makes it so much easier for creating your copy. So there's what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly run through some of these formulas, and there's few different types of formulas here. I have okay, so there's basically what I have here is three different categories that the headlines fall into. I have social proof, I have threat, and I have gain. So what you see on the screen in front of you right now is social proof, and let's see, I'm just going to scroll down through. You can see I have quite a few different social proof formulas, and I have some threat headlines. And what I'm just going to do is just quickly run through a couple of different examples. I'm going to find something that actually can work with. Well, one that I've created is how to make an extra $60,000 or more selling your home. So that specific headline is going to attract people who maybe are concerned about, you know, they don't have enough, they think that there's not enough money from selling their home. There's not enough equity there. They're worried about the paying the realtor. So you can attract a lot of people by sort of addressing how they can make an extra certain amount of money by selling their home. So just in the threat headlines, I'm just going to quickly go through some of these. And what I have, I'll put in a link below where you can access a free document that I have for writing ad copy, and definitely you can go through a lot of these exercises yourself. So one is the biggest lie in your industry. So you could say the biggest lie in the biggest lie when it comes to selling your home. The biggest lie, you know, from real estate agents. So, you know, you can use that headline to grab their attention, because that's what the headline is doing, is to grab their attention, and then you deliver on the headline within the actual ad itself. So you try to tie the headline into, you understand their pains, fears, frustrations, or ambitions, and you know their desired outcome and the benefits they're going to receive. So you know that when it comes to selling their home, some of them, they don't want to work with realtors or not as trustworthy. So the biggest lie in selling your home is something that a lot of them are going to be interested in, because their desired outcome is to sell their home. So how many of them are not going to want to know what that biggest lie is? So, that's the headline. That's going to get them to click on it or to get their attention. Then the ad itself needs to talk about what that biggest lie is and how, your solution can help them solve their challenge without, getting involved in whatever that biggest lie is. You have to come up with the biggest. Don't ask me what the biggest lie is. It's just a headline that you would actually have to come up with what the biggest lie is. So X shocking mistakes killing your blank. So you could do like 3 shocking mistakes killing your home sale. So basically you'd have to have 3 different things that are resulting in why they aren't selling their home today. So remember, you're trying to attract these motivated homeowners to contact you, and where you can actually put in offers and discuss some of your solutions. So the 3 shocking mistakes killing your home sale, that's going to attract people who their desired outcome is to sell their home. So they're going to wonder, am I making these 3 biggest mistakes? And is that why my home is sitting on the market for 120 days? So it's a great headline for attracting the people with the desired outcome of selling their home, that have the challenges that's been sitting on the home for quite some time. So another one is, at last, the secret to desired outcome is revealed. So at last, the secret to selling your home fast is revealed. So that's a great headline. At last, the secret to selling your home is revealed. Selling your home quickly is revealed. So selling your home quickly is the desired result that somebody wants. So it's easy to create an ad talking about selling your home quickly. So those are just some of the headlines that you have available. So from the headlines, scroll down. So from the headlines, then you get into actually creating and crafting the marketing piece itself, crafting the ad. So some of the things that you're going to want to consider are, that you're going to keep in mind. So you need to keep in mind the desired outcome. The pain, fear, frustration, and ambition is number 1. Then what the desired outcome the homeowner wants to achieve from that challenge. And then the benefits your solution is going to offer them to get that desired outcome. So those things you have to have in your mind at all times. And then you pick a headline from the formula. So you pick a formula and you make a headline. And then you need to write the actual ad copy for the ad or the marketing piece, the flyer, the brochure, whatever it is you're going to write. Always, so you're going to write about the headline, but you always need to keep in mind the individual's challenges, their desired outcomes, and the benefits they're going to receive by working with you. So a few other tips about writing your ad copy, just going to wrap up here, is you need to talk in a singular voice. So it's all about them. So you use the word you a lot. So you this, you that, you and me. But you talk about them, you don't talk about yourself. Sometimes you can put in depending upon how long your ad is, you can run a dual conversation. What that means is every 2 to 3 small paragraphs, there may be a bolded, centered, just a few words or a sentence. And then you have a few paragraphs and then another bolded sort of heading before the next few paragraphs. So a lot of times people won't read the entire thing. What they'll do is they'll skim through those bolded headlines, which is actually another conversation that takes place. So if you're just to go headline to headline to headline to headline, there's actually a conversation going on there. Then people will get the gist of the entire ad just by reading those bolded headlines. So depending upon how big your ad is or how big your marketing piece is, maybe you're writing a sales letter trying to attract these people, but that is another piece that you can incorporate. Use very specific language that it's action-based and emotion-based. So you want to draw on the people's emotions and you want to get them to take action. So there's a lot of action words, a lot of emotion words in there. You always want to call your attention to your offer or your solution. You know, ask some very obvious questions in there in your copy. Remind them of the benefits that your solution offers them. So that's why we went through the exercise of determining what the benefits would be to them based on their desired outcome and based on the challenge that they have. Because throughout your copy, you're going to keep reminding them the benefits they're going to receive by contacting you or using your solution. And you always want to talk about the future, you know, that the future is bright, that they already have their desired results. So, you know, basically, you know, what life looks like after working with you is sort of what I'm getting at. So try to tie that a little bit into your copywriting so they can almost envision that basically the deal is done, that things are great, they work with you, they've moved on. So talk about their future. Be honest, you know, if you're looking for this, then you're probably not the right type of person. So just be honest. Don't be deceitful in your ads or your marketing. Just be straightforward, honest, and you'll not only attract the people you want to attract, but you'll repel the people you want to repel. And if there's a way that you can do it, tie in scarcity, such as the time or the number. I do that with one ad of mine in particular. Typically, I'm looking to rent them for a specific date. So I'm looking to rent houses for, let's say, December 1. But I'm not only looking to rent houses, I'm looking to rent a specific number of houses. So companies looking to rent 3 houses for to rent 2 to 3 years and then buy for December 1. Something like that. So there's the quantity of 3 and then there's the time of December 1. So it's kind of a scarcity in there. So try to tie that in there as well. So that's sort of what it takes to writing effective copy to attract motivated homeowners. I went through it really quickly. You know, the hours just sort of got away from me, but I tried to incorporate a lot of different things in so that you know you can actually take this information and start crafting some of your own copywriting, some of your own ads. You can take the video, watch it later, sort of break it down, and I'll definitely put some links below. So with that, I'm going to close out. So thanks for joining me on today's John A. McCabe Show. Now, when it comes to connecting with your ideal target market through your marketing and your ads, you need to enter into the conversation sort of that's already going on inside the ideal target market's head. That is done by knowing what the ideal target market is, who their ideal target market is, or what the motivated homeowner is thinking. So you need to understand, get crystal clear on who they are, what their pains, fears, and frustrations and ambitions are. You need to really understand their desired outcome and be able to communicate what benefits the motivated homeowner will receive when they work with you or use your solution. Now, with that, you have the foundation of what you need to create effective marketing material. You then need to grab the motivated homeowner's attention through well-written headlines and then convey it back to them sort of in their own language, their pains, fears, frustrations, or ambitions, or desired outcome, the benefits that they're going to receive working with you, and how your solution can help them out in the current situation. So you do that through the headline, and to get started, just use some of the proven headline formulas. It's an easy way for you to quickly come up with headlines that work, that are effective. You know, they've been proven to work. Just tie in a lot of the copy with the headline. So take the time to craft in very simple terms the body of the ad, the letter or the marketing piece, using short paragraphs to speak directly to the ideal customer, just as if you were actually reading the market piece yourself. It seems that you're talking directly to them or specifically to them. So when they're reading it, it sounds like you're talking to them and them only. So you're going to use a singular voice, which means that you're going to say you in there a lot. So you're going to receive this benefit. You will have your home sold in 30 days or less. So it's all about them. So when they're reading it, it's like that you're talking specifically to them. So you do that throughout the copy on several occasions, so they feel like, as I mentioned, that you're talking only specifically to them and not to everybody else. Then making a very clear and distinct call to action. So call me, click the link, email me, go to my website. Use only one action and be very clear on what that one action is. Now, if you're interested in some complete marketing systems that have already been proven to work, that generate leads, have people that contact you directly, then I'm going to put a link below that you can click on to find out more information. You also get access to a free report on writing killer ad copy to attract motivated homeowners. So if you want that free report on crafting your own marketing, your own ads, you can get access to it. I'll put the link below. So that's our show for today. I'd like to thank you for watching and look forward to seeing you tomorrow for a brand new episode of the John A. McCabe Show, where I'm going to help entrepreneurs, business owners, authors, expert speakers accelerate the authority, get seen, get heard, get noticed on anywhere, anytime, on any device with only 15 hours worth of work. So until tomorrow, have yourself an amazing day, and I look forward to seeing you then.